I believe that mission is an extension of what God is doing. And in a very interesting way, the incarnation of Christ coming here was an initiation of an exchange of relationship. Christ came so that our relationship with God would be restored. And in modeling Christ to others, in that way, then we also need to model incarnation, which is reciprocal in and of itself. And so I think mission being reciprocal is a very, very important. In fact, it's at the heart of who we are as Christians, being in an exchange where we sit and listen, eat together, come out from where we are. Christ emptied himself of his glory and his power and came and put himself in a finite person. Creator became creature. And our response then is an act of worship and a modeling throughout history of that incarnation. I think in that way, it's reciprocal. And I think everywhere where historically where Christians have enacted reciprocity, in those places Christianity has grown. In the places where people stopped listening, where people stopped putting their finger on the pulse of the world around them that needs God and the brokenness around them, then it died. Relative power can either be a challenge or an opportunity. And sometimes let me talk about the challenge. The challenge is when someone comes from a point of more power, whether the power is theological or in terms of economic power or sometimes political power, like as has happened in our history, then the challenge becomes one of humility, where it is hard to be humble and hard to speak the truth to your own power. But I think it's an opportunity, because if you have power and that gives you an opportunity to do things that wouldn't otherwise be done. For example, with your power, you can use your power to give voice to people who don't have voice, because your power enables you to do that. If you have economic power, it means you can enable people without the economic means to do things, to respond to mission in ways that they would never be able to do. And of course it's messy. It's messy navigating that line. But what part of Christianity isn't messy? I think it's all messy, and inside there God speaks order into that chaos. And I think that's the journey in there is what makes it worth the while.